All right, so I am back and we have something special to treat you all with. This is my Dragapult variant that I might be using for the rest of this season until something better comes out. So I'll meet you all with a little surprise. I know I've been off, but we are back. We are back with a vengeance. I've just been trying to find a very effective deck. And it's some a little special that I custom homebrewed for us, post rotation. So it's basically a Dragapult shell along with a core of Alakazam. We replaced the Charizards as well as the Monkey Dories with a tree line of our Alakazam, and then we replaced the Luminous Energy with some Wondrous patches. So it's a wholesale replacement because the number is perfectly matched up, as well as it's a good effective use of the Psychic Energy. So that's pretty nice. I know this was attempted earlier, but that's pre-rotation. Now this deck works amazing. By my estimation, I do around 20 to like 50 games. But in this build, as soon as it was done, I'm up to around a 70% win rate with it. And I'm very confident because the card selection is amazing. Because even the worst case scenarios, like it's just got judged, I'm not even worried. Look at that. Pull. We have Crispin for the acceleration and also getting us the energy. We have Wondrous Patch that late game we can always just set up Alakazams. We can also no longer just lose to price race. We actually have very effective means of fighting more coverage and better coverage against most decks. Because even coming up against something like the Mega decks where Dragapult struggles and need to two-tap them as well. Not with this. Because we have all these one prizers and Fez of course, they quite easy when to target the Fez. If not, they usually put themselves in a bad position to rush the prizes. But on top of that, seeing just the one prizes, it's very easy to assume this is just a Alakazam deck. When it's not, because even if you decide to target only my Abras and those small stuff, it's not going to be very helpful or effective, especially because shit the time now there. Especially because the main attacker in this deck is actually Dragapult, the backup attacker is the Alakazam. But that could easily be switched into a prize race early with the Alakazam, and while they struggle to catch up, we finish them off with the Dragapults. Because even when we get put in a bad position with something like Judge, where you can see here, we still hold them down with our Voodoo while maintaining the card selection and setting up the following turns. Nice. Now we have two candies and we have this. What we need to do now is find any of the Dragapults or the Alakazams and we are set. You can see we have Stretcher to bring back anything lost. We have Raikan needs to go up and we have a draw. We look at top two and when they kill Badiou, that'll actually let us go all the way up. Again, the line used an item was unintentional, but it's also strategic. I thought he was going to do more, but he had the boss. I don't understand why he didn't just boss the first and start up, because now he effectively set himself up. But then he might be just trying to fuck around and find out to see what exactly we're playing. But terrible bet, because again, with the access to Dawn and Hilders, we actually could find out the cards. Trapple uses a big hand that you can't do much with, because you're already just dominating. And with the Alakazam, it takes advantage of that large hand. Now, we won't be involved in that. trying to keep, he has the boss, so trying to keep the field looking very clear, and where he has to worry about target selection, because now he does have the boss he didn't use last turn. He can either kill the Shot Cloak, which is in New Upper, or he can try and kill the Fez, which is draw power, but he's going to have item locked, and he's seeing one prize, so trying to get a prize race will be detrimental to him. Just knock out the Badiou, and you can see an Alakazam coming, or Paul's coming, and that is he'll get two prizes. We'll get three, putting us ahead. What he's not seeing is if we damage the Charizard almost to death, so you don't have to force and pull all those energy into hands like if we play in straight Alakazam, and then we just go straight into that boss, take that Fez, and we can go wham bam thank you ma'am, 5 prizes, and less pressure to draw to our deck because we do have a lot of power, and all the card selection means we do have all the pieces to put in. And just like that, we do have an entire board set up where we have 4 attackers already lined up, and we set them up for a sweep. There's no way he could win. That this is checkmated, and this is going from the possible around worst position he could have been in, where they judge you down. Even the top decks weren't good. He got a free turn for items and still going to get hosed here. Now this Charizard is in death range for the 60 damage counters from Dragapult. His Fez is dead, so that's 5 prizes set up. So that's why I put down the Dragapult. Because in this position, even if he bosses, we will just kill it with Alakazam. But there we go. I guess he maybe didn't see it. One dispatch. Set up the second Dragapult. Just like that. That's 4 attackers. And we're not going to put anything else, just going to leave that space. Move around with it, and we are good. 5 prizes. And just like that, checkmate. No way to win. The synergy is amazing with this, because just having access to the 4 pal pads and the card selection from 3Ps means that your Alakazam is almost guaranteed. Then on top of that, the draw from Alakazam can help you find the cards you need to effectively get your quick Dragapults off. And because there's so much overlap, the swap between them is literally seamless. Because even in New Upper Energy, as a choice in supporter, because it works for both Alakazam as well as a Dragapult. There's literally no card wasted in the deck. And we do have space to slot in Psyduck against the Dragonores that it has. Or we have the spot to slot in the Shaman, as that's the good counter against the Ball Ripen. Because again, we still have Enzo Rock in the format. We still have the Charizard Y, and we don't want to just be victims to that. Yes, the Jarapul's a Terra, so it doesn't get damage on the bench, but we have a lot of small things on the bench that could get hit. But again, see how effective it is. I haven't had that happen here. Again, because the deck is super quick. Because with rare candies and everything else, you should be able to actually just get your entire bench to be a threat. So you have a very nice setup there. And you're killing me out, guys. I find that funny. So pretty easy. And again, this gets me into the idea of like everybody using petrol. I call this Monster, where they're going to try to replace the Avon with petrol because they're saying you can search for item and petrol Avon search for item. It wasn't that. Avon's benefit wasn't that it searched for two cards, meaning it's a 2 for 1, which means it better. Right now, petrol searches for one. And using petrol to then search for a boss doesn't make sense. In petrol to bring an item is nice, but you waste your support of a turn. Whereas the act replacement is Rayton. Because again, we had the Irida was the initial card, which was the searching beautiful win, so I can make this discussion, where you could have searched for an item and a water Pokemon. And then when it went, we didn't have a replacement. We didn't like Arven because Chenpa was very strong and leave any format with that. And now we still get rare candy. We got used to it, and then Arven was the best card. And now Arven's gone, there's nothing else that gets you an item and something else in the format other than Drayton. Yes, it's top 7, but in top 7, you're not going to miss. Your deck is mostly trainers and Pokemon. You'll always find 2 cards. Yes, you're not going to find everything you want, but you'll always get at least a card. It always replaces itself. Unless you top deck 7 energies, that's borderline impossible, like statistically. But we'll see again. We have another decent start here. Cabana. Let's give that to him, and we'll one dress patch. We're looking for an early boss, or we actually set because we can, again, does not look like it's super impactful. But remember, this pal pad is going to literally turn into a Kadabra. So you can draw cards. If you draw a candy, we can go up again. It is amazing. So we turn out the deck, then we, good job. As I was saying, we turn out the deck, and we also get access to drop on card selection. Look at that. Let's go. Kadabra, because we get to draw 2 cards for sure. Instead of looking for top 2, it's Dreepy. So it's a Dracloak. There we go. That is a Dracloak. Look at that. And we found the first rare candy. Rare candy up. Use the fire energy because psychic energy is very good for everything else. We'll still look for a card. Oh, look at that. We'll bring one Abra as well because we want to have effective. Again, we're running three lines of these. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, we're okay with that. You in front. You are top dog. What next? And again, our hand is small, and that leads people to a sense of like security. And look how quickly these 2 cards are going to turn into around 5, possibly more. Because the strength I see with Alakazam is that draw power and the Draclo card selection. That's why there's an initial build using the Dracloaks as an engine for the Alakazam, but it didn't work because there was no way to find the cards as quickly. But now we have access to Dawn, we have access to Hilda, again Drayton, the exact what I'm talking about. Go. Because again, we do get 2 cards here. In fact, we have backup Dracloaks, and then we have Dracloak to search on top of that. We put in 4, because that way, even if Monkey Door is, it'll still have 1 on it, so you can just boss up the Fez for 2 prizes later on, and we are good. There's no you can one-shot us using Sharpedo, Mega Sharpedo, sorry. So, not really that worried. Oh, there you go, that's Mega Sharpedo. Smart player using Grimly here. I appreciate the build. But now we check our hand and see how much damage we have outputting with the Alakazam. That's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 by 2, 160. Not the best, but it's enough to get some damage on to set us up for a strong boss and Dragapult to take like 3 prizes. So again, I'm seeing checkmate here because he either has to take out the attacker in front, which he can't, or try to have a setup. And the longer you wait, the stronger this deck is. It is exceedingly aggressive. Like I said, but we don't want to give him anything more to this. Up, dispatch. So that we are in a game. And oh, unfortunate. His one shot should have been Binding Mushi. And now there's no Binding Mushi available to him. And there we go. Again, remember we had 2 cards and we were in the seemingly losing position. And look at his hand. Crazy. That's 3, 6, 9, 11 cards in hand. And we have our Alakazam set up, so we don't actually need to do anything else. We still have potential 2 draws with 3 Ps. And even to knock something up, we have Fez, every part of the Buffalo being used. And, excuse me, the deck is so consistent. Because all the supporters are card selection, or 2-for-1s, and it's in the deck, plus the natural draws, and the card selection means that you always have possible moves and more options. So this is a better version of a box deck, and again, he can't retreat because again, we have the camera for the balloon. He can attack with his poor guy. He can attack with his Mega Sharpedo, but it's unfortunate for him because this is the end of the game here. And just like that, oops, all threats. But we can just retreat or Fez and just boss up his Fez, and that's about it. We'll put all the rest of damage onto his Mega Sharpedo, and that'll get us the game. But again, tell me if you like it, tell me what you think. I will do a couple more games, and if requested, I'll play deck list in the comments. But seeming like people lost post rotations, so I'll do another guide. Hope you enjoyed this little tech and a sneak peek at what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the year. So, give me a like, give me a follow, a subscribe, and see y'all soon.